am 25 and have no work done, and this is how I look without makeup. She is 25 and has no work done. She is also 25 and has no work done. And she is 25 and has no work done. And you know what? We all look normal for our age. Some of us have scars or wrinkles or skin damage because time treats everyone differently. But for some reason, going on the internet and telling people it's okay not to have Botox or filler is a problem now, especially if you don't fit the traditional beauty standards for women, which dictate that you should always strive to look young and have a perfect, clear skin. What's more, apparently by saying that it's okay to have no work done at this stage, you are shading people who got filler or plastic surgery. So before I get into this topic, I would like to make one thing clear. I couldn't give less of a fuck if somebody I don't know has Botox or whatever else. In my opinion, your body, your choice extends to the decisions you make about your appearance. So as long as you feel good about it, no shade from me. However, what I do have a problem with is when people start hating on somebody who had the courage to post their imperfect, unfiltered skin. And yes, I do think it takes courage to post that, and the reaction people had to Colleen Thompson should be enough evidence. Colleen Thompson, who I showed you at the beginning of this video, recently posted this TikTok. And people in the comments absolutely lost their shit. Most people in the comments immediately felt the need to give her advice on how to get better skin. For example, something wrong, I would go get blood work done. I don't mean to make you feel bad for yourself, but girl, please use sunscreen, hydrate, moisturize, and use retinol twice a week. Drink lots of water and wear lots of moisturizer and sunscreen and retinol, you'll be fine. You just have not been taking care of yourself. First of all, she didn't ask. Second of all, you have no way of knowing if she'd been taking care of herself or not. You just saw one post. When someone responded to that comment saying, "Did she ask?" the answer was, I live in one of the hottest countries in the world where the normal temperature in the summer is 50 plus degrees, and we mostly work outside but diligently wear sunscreen and cover our face at the daytime when it's too sunny because of issues like skin cancer, aging, sun acne and burns, etc. Just take care of yourself instead of crying on the internet. It's not normal for a 60-year-old to look 30, and it's also not normal for a 25-year-old to look 40. She just needs to use good skincare and drink lots of water. Prevention is better than cure. Colleen, in my opinion, wasn't crying on the internet. She just posted that video to try and normalize having imperfect skin in your 20s. I mean, we expect women our age to look like teenagers, but when I look in the mirror, I also see wrinkles. I had some skin problems, and I think it's great that there is somebody who's trying to make it seem normal. And Colleen herself said in a comment, I'm not looking for skincare recommendations. Yes, I wear sunscreen, use serums, retinol, and tretinoin, I don't know what it is. And you know what the top response was? Maybe the retinoids are too harsh for your skin. That can cause wrinkles. So clearly, she can't win. A few days later, Colleen posted a response to that video because, to be fair, it did go kind of viral, if that even means anything, but it got around 12 million views.
I'm someone who's a little bit more self-conscious about my skin. I grew up with acne. When I got off of birth control, I got more acne really bad along my jawline. It's always been something I've struggled with a lot. I do have some other hormonal issues, so I have some hyperpigmentation and discoloration on my face. I'm not usually bothered by comments, but I found that my feelings were really hurt reading some of the comments from this video. Most of you were so kind and gracious in the comment section, but I did find myself tearing up, not in a good way, with some of the comments I read. And I think it's because I am just a little bit more sensitive about my skin. Something that really bothered me was that everyone was just assuming that I don't use sunscreen and I don't do skincare. A lot of the comments were, well, you should be wearing sunscreen. You should be using tretinoin. You need to be doing this and that's why your skin looks bad. Not that I need to defend myself at all, but I wear sunscreen every single day. I've used tretinoin and retin-A since I've been 19 and I'm 25 now. I have a very good skincare routine that works for me. And so when I saw these comments accusing me of not doing those things, it just really hurt. Also, the entire point of the video was to show that I'm embracing my aging and my wrinkles. I feel like the point was missed just a little bit. And listen, I know my skin isn't perfect, but to assume that I have bad hygiene or bad habits because of it is just super insensitive. And honestly, I'm just someone who's in the sun a lot. I played beach volleyball growing up. I hike, I trail run, I'm in the sun every single day. While I am wearing sunscreen and have a really good skincare routine, it can only do so much. I do feel bad for the people in my comment section that felt the need to rip me apart, especially older women, because I know deep down that's just an insecurity they have. Yes, sunscreen and skincare are important, but I'm also learning to embrace my skin. And all the projection in the comment section really did show me how much this message is needed within our society, especially for women. So for me, I'm gonna keep posting my unfiltered and unedited skin because clearly more people need to see what a woman looks like that has no work done. Love you guys.
And top comments are obviously still unsolicited advice, like, are you reapplying sunscreen every 2 hours when you're outdoor? And this very aggressive comment, I'm sorry, but saying to assume I have bad hygiene or bad habits because of it is just super insensitive, as you're wrapping the dropper all over your face took me out. That's how you contaminate the product. That's how you get acne. And using retin-A is a negative, not a positive, if you're spending time in the sun. Also, you should be applying sunscreen multiple times throughout the day, not just every day. Clearly, your skincare routine is not working for your skin. People aren't trying to drag you down, they are concerned. I understand you might lump them in as rude or offended because you're hurt, but it's not right. Just like how lumping all women around your age that look younger as having had lots of work done is not right. First and foremost, people aren't concerned. Most people don't give a fuck about randos on the internet. I mean, look at the TikToks where people say they, eat fast food or vape. Their comment sections aren't filled with people telling them to have a healthier lifestyle. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 comments will happen, but it's definitely not at this scale. Second of all, you have no way of knowing if her skincare works for her or not because you don't know what her skin looked like before. I mean, she said in the video that she has problems and that there are hormones involved, and as somebody who did have a problem with hormonal acne, I can tell you it's an incredibly hard problem to fight, and honestly, I would even assume there are doctors involved, so maybe you aren't the person to tell her what to do. Also, Colleen never said that all women her age who look younger had work done. This is something you made up. However, someone responded to that comment and said, take deep breaths, please. There is no reason for any of you to be concerned about how a complete stranger takes care of their skin. Then the first person said, have some compassion, please. She could literally get melanoma. Using strong retin-As and spending hours in the sun is truly dangerous. And there was one more response, have some compassion. You pretending like you're coming from a place of compassion and I'm not is hysterical. You're clearly just trying to put this woman down. Enough. And I very much agree with this last response. And also, I'm kind of done with the whole skin cancer argument because I feel like most people use sunscreen to not get visible sun damage or wrinkles. And right now, I'm not talking about this person from the comments in particular because I don't know them, I don't know who that is. But so often I hear women who vape or smoke say that they use sunscreen to not get skin damage. Skin cancer, so you care about skin cancer but not lung cancer. I mean, like, it's fine to wear sunscreen to look better for longer. Like, that's why we use serums and whatever else. Like, it's completely fine. I just feel like so many people use skin cancer just to, like, hide their vanity. But people obviously had more problems with her skincare. For example, using retinol since you've been 19, that might actually work against you rather than for you. Retinol speeds up your skin regeneration, and under 25 your skin regenerates more quickly than it dies anyway, so it didn't have a positive impact that whole time that you've been exposing your skin to a fairly harsh chemical, which greatly increases your skin's susceptibility, I don't know how to read that, to sun damage. Like, literally, most of the comments under her first video told her to use retinol. Now she said she is using retinol and people have a problem with that. I mean, she really can't win. And honestly, just take care of your fucking life. I mean, you don't know her, you don't know her skin, you don't know what she tried. She says it's working for her, so it's working for her. Like, women really don't need to be constantly told what to do. I think people had such a problem with Colleen's video because she exposed a lot of people's insecurities, and it's insecurities she doesn't have. I mean, so many people, especially young women, are absolutely terrified of aging. And it's hard to blame them because we are being constantly told that we only matter as long as we are pretty. And what Connie's example shows is that once people decide you are no longer desirable, you deserve to be ridiculed, called unhygienic, or told that you aren't doing enough. And I think that's why we have so many influencers doing, in my opinion, absolutely crazy stuff to stay young. And I don't have a problem with those creators. I mean, I probably used some of their advice because I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't care about aging because I obviously do. I mean, I use sunscreen every day and I can tell you I couldn't give less of a fuck about skin cancer. I just don't want wrinkles. That's it. And you know what? I'm also recording this video without makeup and I'm genuinely worried it's going to get less views or not any views at all because I just look uglier than I do in makeup. So I'm not going to take like a moral high ground here and criticize other women for trying to look pretty or stay young. I mean, I'm very aware of pretty privilege and youth privilege, if you can call it that, and I'm afraid of what's going to happen once I get older. I mean, there are a lot of things I value in myself other than the way I look, but I'm genuinely worried about how people are going to treat me once I'm no longer young and pretty. But because I'm afraid of that, I would never put down a woman who is trying to embrace her natural, imperfect skin. Quite the contrary, actually, I would love to see more women do that because then maybe as a society we would get used to seeing natural women and maybe then younger generations wouldn't feel the need to do as much to look young. However, I don't think that's going to happen, especially seeing how Gen Alpha acts. I mean, we've all heard of Sephora kids who do a full face of makeup and have a skincare routine which is probably longer than mine. And I'm just afraid that once they get to the age of 25 or whatever, and once wrinkles start appearing, they are going to have a much harder time with it than we are. Because there's already a strikingly high number of women getting filler and plastic surgery in their 20s. And as I said, I have no problem with that as long as you are doing it for yourself. But I'm just afraid that at least some women aren't doing it for themselves, they are doing it to look better for others, and that's not the same thing. But anytime you try to criticize filler or plastic surgery, you are suddenly no longer a girl's girl. But what happens to being a girl's girl when someone doesn't care about the way they look? What happens to being a girl's girl when someone's skin reminds you of your own insecurities that one day, sooner or later, you are going to age? Because no matter what you do, you are going to show signs of aging and people are going to notice. And then you will understand how people treat women who are no longer conventionally attractive. Because as we can see, aged, wrinkled, or ugly women don't deserve fucking respect. They are here to be called lazy and unhygienic simply for the way they look. Even if you think that a 25-year-old shouldn't look like this, just keep it to yourself. There are plenty of women who are 25 or younger and have skin problems, and trust me, those women are very much aware of the weight of the beauty standards that was put on them, and they don't need to be reminded once again under a post which encourages women not to worry about wrinkles.